What is up, gamers? It's your boy The Goods, and we are here for episode number 11 of the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, the Great Ace Attorney Adventures, the Great Ace Attorney. In the last episode, we talked to Herlock Sholmes, and in this episode, we're gonna keep examining. I'm gonna be honest with you, I have not touched this game in about 2 months. So forgive me if I do not remember a single control. It tells me in the bottom, okay. Excuse me. What? I was wondering if I could ask you a favor. Would you mind if I investigated a little outside? Grandmother told me Japanese people do not make jokes. But it's not true, I see. Sorry? The criminal asking a prison guard to help him escape? Very funny. We're in the middle of the sea. There's no chance of me escaping. NYET! Stay in this cabin until next port. Then it is up to Hong Kong police to decide what they do with you. You stay! Alright. There's no point trying to appeal to this man's better nature, that's for sure. Well, then I'll kill him with the blade!
That's Kazuma-sama's precious sword. He never went anywhere without it.
Yeah, he was always saying that a Japanese man's katana is his soul.
I believe he had to work very hard to convince the government.
We already did all this shit. What am I supposed to be doing? What did it say before? Is it only showing me? You gotta examine. Okay, so there's still more stuff to. So how do I? Okay, I move around. And then I click. Seigi, the Japanese word for justice. The brushstrokes are straight and true, just like Kazuma.
Yes, his calligraphy was always a reflection of his heart. Yet can you really look at those characters without feeling shame, knowing who drew them so thoughtfully?
Of course I can! I mean, I'm innocent, so why shouldn't I be able to?
Even though you stowed away on this ship?
Damn, she got me. She got my ass. You're gonna bring that up, are you? I can't win. Alright, what's left? Somehow, I got that. There's really not a whole lot else to examine, I don't think. What is it? B&M? Check that out. Yeah, I don't know what else there is to investigate. To be honest, I think we've kind of. Oh, the door. I've investigated thoroughly, but I can't find anything out of place. What do you mean? What?
When I went for help and the crewman forced the door open. This bolt has been firmly closed.
It's quite a small bolt, not particularly sturdy, and it just slides across to secure the door shut. But still, with the door bolted, there'd be no way to get in or out of the cabin, that's for sure. It's no wonder everyone suspects me. When she glares at me like that, I feel tense up all up and down my spine. I remember reading once in a detective novel. The culprit used a needle and thread to draw bolts across from outside the room in a situation like this.
Yes, that's a clever trick, isn't it? I'm an avid reader of detective stories myself. But the door of this cabin and its frame are made of metal and they seal together perfectly. There'd be no possibility of using a needle and thread trick here, I'm afraid.
She glares at me like that, I feel pins and needles all up and down my spine. Oh shit! Look over there. It's a guy.
The crewman, do you mean? He wasn't there before, was he?
That's what I thought.
Why don't we try talking to him?
Probably because I'm likely to get yelled at again, but I suppose we could try. Alright, buddy. Is that... Oh no, I knew he looked familiar. Look at his face and tell me you don't know who that is. Look at his face, tell me you don't know who that is.
Is something wrong, Naruhodo-san?
Oh no, it's just that crewman standing by the door. Can't help feeling like I've seen him somewhere before. Inspector Hosonaga! What are you doing here? Oh yes, you're right.
Oh yes, you're right. He does look familiar. Excuse me, sir.
Yes, what can I do for you? Dog. What are you doing here? I recognize that face, but it can't be. It is!
I didn't know you were here, Inspector Hosonaga.
He has such a distinct thing about him, his cough. He's gotta be a terrible fucking, you know what I'm trying to say, inspector. Hello again. What are you doing here? I think that should be my line. I was so stunned when I saw you, my heart stopped.
Nearly stopped, I hope.
I received some special orders to go undercover as a member of the crew and board this ship. Again?
You certainly seem to enjoy undercover work, Inspector.
If there's anything I can do to help you, please ask. Never expected to see this man on board, but perhaps his presence can help me out of this hopeless situation. Alright, buddy, let's converse. So what were your special orders this time, Inspector?
Yes, and why are you dressed as a member of the crew?
Ayo? I'm so sorry. This is all my fault. I take full responsibility. For what? My orders were to act as a Sogi-san's bodyguard. It was Minister of Justice Jigoku who pushed for this overseas study tour to go ahead. And he entrusted me with ensuring that a Sogi-san reached Great Britain without being assassinated. Assassinated? How could that have been a possibility? What was on your mind? I'm not sure, but these are complicated times. There are tensions between the world's greatest powers. Minister Jigoku said we should be prepared for all eventualities. This is incredible.
I don't believe it! Kazuma-sama was assassinated!
Obviously, we couldn't give Asugi-san a visible security escort. Which is why I'm undercover now, posing as one of the crew.
I see.
And I didn't take my eyes off him the entire time we've been on board, from morning until night, every day. But I never imagined it would happen here, inside his own cabin, not here on the first-class deck. I failed miserably at my assignment, and Asogi-san is dead as a result. I'm a disgrace. All I can do is humbly apologize. Inspector. So if there's anything at all I can do to help now, just say the word. Yeah, give me permission to investigate then. We're doing what we can to investigate Kazuma's death ourselves. I thought you might be. You didn't do it, did you? You're not the killer? Of course not!
We'd really like to investigate the cabin next door.
Yes. Yes, so we need to be allowed out of this cabin. I'm sorry. What? You've been deemed a risk to the ship's safety. If you moved even to touch the handle of the cabin door, that stormy-looking seaman there would surely snap your neck in two. I suppose I'm not just a stowaway now. They think I'm a murderer as well. That's right. Would it be possible? Would it be possible to give me something to work with, do you think? I'm going to need something persuasive.
What do you mean?
If I had a solid reason why the next door cabin should be investigated, for example, I'd do everything I could to persuade the captain to allow it. Really, I'd lay my life on the line if I had to. But I don't see how...
There may be a way.
What? Really?
Think of how you tried to persuade me of your innocence, Naruto-san, by presenting me with a piece of evidence that you already had in your possession.
Evidence?
It's just the same as when you're in court. You must have done it so many times during your trial. Simply select the present panel and choose some evidence that Inspector Hosonaga could use.
So evidence that would give us a viable reason to investigate the next door cabin, is it? Alright, yeah, I think I might know something. See if I can present to the guy. What is the button I'm supposed to press? Is Z is back? Now what do I want to present? The seal? I think I need to present the speckled band? What's that? It's Kazuma's diary.
Just before he died, Kazuma-sama wrote something rather strange in his diary.
Strange? In what way?
He wrote,
Looks like some kind of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator grill. A speckled band? That is strange. Yeah, we're still trying to work out what he meant by that. But what I'd like to know is... Don't tell me. The ventilator, is it?
You're very astute, Inspector.
That ventilator clearly joins to the next door cabin. That's right, so if we can investigate in there, we might be able to work out what the speckled band was. Alright then. Oh! I can't leave this cabin at the moment. I'm stuck here until we arrive at the next port. The captain has given me strict orders to guard the scene of the crime, you see. I'll have to entrust the investigation to you.
Really? You're willing to do that?
Yes, as long as you don't leave the first-class cabin area. I'm afraid I can't remove those handcuffs, though. But what about the captain? Aren't you going against his direct orders? I'm a man of my word. And I promise you that I'll lay my life on the line if that's what it takes to convince the captain. After all, I failed to keep Asogi-san safe. This is the least I can do. Thank you.
Let's seize the moment then, Naruhodo-san. Just select move and we can leave the cabin at last.
Move, alright, fuck it. Let's go! We gotta go to the first class passageway. But yeah, by the time you're seeing this one, all of my videos should be edited videos now. But these, I don't think I can edit because shit has to play out. You know what I mean? Like, I can't skip anything. Whew, finally out of that cabin. I have to admit, this isn't quite what I was expecting. Hey, yo, mousetrap. It's less spacious out here than I thought it would be. And this is the most luxurious accommodation.
Yes, indeed. Kazuma-sama was being sent on this study tour by the government. That's why he was being put up in a first-class cabin. Even still, this is about twice as large as my accommodation in steerage.
Really? That must be awful. Oh shit! Look at Big Man over there. Another crewman keeping watch, and he looks enormous even if he is sitting down.
The door next to him leads to the second-class accommodation. I suppose he's making sure that no one comes in here who shouldn't.
Oh my god, my hand scared the hell out of me. I suppose like people in handcuffs.
Naruhodo-san, you look like a little boy visiting a toy shop for the first time. I would have thought you'd be used to the ship by now. We've been at sea for 2 weeks already.
Well, yeah, I know, but the thing is, I was inside Kazuma's trunk when I first came aboard. And ever since then, I've been shut up in that little wardrobe.
It must have been a very trying time for you.
Please, don't give me that pitying look. I'm a big man. I can handle things myself. Now, can I go... I suppose I need to investigate fucking everything.
Ah, a trap for catching mice.
Yes, we have plenty of those back home in Japan. Oh, my ear gets itchy with these fucking headphones on. Oh, they seem to be using a lump of chalk or something as bait.
Let me see. Yes, I think that's what's called cheese. It's made from the milk of cows.
Jeez, I wonder what it tastes like.
You can't eat it, Naruhodo-san. The trap will snap shut on your fingers.
Really? But I suppose you're right.
You weren't actually going to try it, were you?
All I've had to eat for the last couple weeks is Kazuma's leftovers. You don't know how hungry I've been in that wardrobe. Wasn't he gonna be here for like 2 months?
Poor you. I'll find a little snack for you later.
Can I please go inside? This is it. This is the cabin next to ours, the one the ventilator connects to.
Yes, the ventilator from which Kazuma-sama wrote that he saw a speckled band emerging.
Maybe whoever's in the cabin can help solve that particular mystery. Let's ask. Isn't homeboy... Oh my god. I was about to say, isn't homeboy Herlock Sholmes in there? Oh. Excuse me. We, need to get inside this cabin here. Is he gonna say anything? I'm getting ready.
The sailor's eyes speak volumes. They're clearly saying, keep out!
That's what I wrote on the sign we put over the wardrobe doors. Well, this man's version is definitely more effective.
It doesn't look like he's going to let us pass.
That's a problem. Yeah, I don't, can I talk to him? Excuse me, but can I ask you something?
You little stowaway murderer!
That wasn't a good start, was it?
Alright, let me try instead. Good day, Mr. Sailor. I'm so sorry to trouble you, but can I perhaps ask of something of you?
You little third-class lady's maid!
Oh,
We seem to have caught this sailor on a bad day, Susanoo-san.
I'm not a sailor! My mother gave me name! I am senior crewman Beef Stroganoff!
Best thing is just to avoid eye contact, I think. Mr. Stroganoff, about this first-class cabin area.
Here we are in finest part of Buria's steamship for very important persons.
What sort of very important persons?
Government officials, kings and queens traveling in secret, many important persons. That is why I'm always guarding this place.
Gosh, that's amazing.
But somehow I let stupid stowaway inside. I want to pick you up and throw you in the ocean! But Stroganoff is not animal.
Thank you.
if I may, I was wondering, is the cabin next to Mr. Asoki's currently occupied?
Nah!
Susanoo-san, did you understand that?
It sounded like duh. I think it's probably Russian for yes. Or no.
Genius.
It is not permitted to visit other cabins without invitation.
Well, it sounds like there's somebody in the next door cabin at least.
Yes, it's tantalizing.
Fuck it, let's let this ride. Can you tell us who's traveling in the cabin next to Mr. Asogi's?
His name is Grimesby Roylet. He is very important Western gentleman.
Western gentleman named Grimesley.
Do not think about it. It has nothing to do with murder of student boy.
How can you be so sure about that?
Mr. Roylet is authentic Western gentleman. Such a man would have no interest in lowly student from insignificant Far East Islands.
That was harsh. Asshole.
Can you tell us when Mr. Roylet came aboard?
That is not your business.
Come to think of it, even though we've been at sea for 2 weeks now and I've been in Kazuma's cabin the entire time, never once heard anything from the next door cabin, or even felt like anyone's there.
Well, presumably, since this gentleman is occupying one of the first-class cabins, he must be rather important, is that right?
That is not your business.
Alright, fuck it, man. We know about it last night. You on watch here all the time, Seaman Stroganoff?
The all time. So criminals like you cannot come in or get out.
I wonder, can you tell us anything about last night at all?
It is sad about student boy.
Were you on watch last night as well?
Of course.
And did you notice anything at the time? Anything unusual?
Hit!
What does that mean? Susanoo-san, did you understand that?
It was clearly a no!
Oh, NYET. I know, sorry, I don't know the Russian alphabet.
I saw nothing unusual, nothing at all.
And you didn't hear any strange noises or sense anything was wrong in some way?
I said no!
Sorry! Whoa! Alright, my bad, man. I'm not so sure. I could have sworn that he wouldn't catch my eye for a moment there.
This is enough. I cannot say more now.
Oh.
It is time for me to report to Captain. You must return to cabin.
Yes, alright.
Bulkhead to second class area is staying locked at all times. You escape when they lost their whistles on top of mountain, or as the English say, when the pigs fly.
Yeah, I understand. I know, I understand.
Good, now we can investigate this area properly, shall we?
Definitely. Alright. Just had to talk to him until he got bored. First, let's check the ship's protocol. That book on top of the table is really huge. There's a pen with it, too.
Yes, I'm sure that's the ship's log.
Shall we have a little look through it?
The writing is so neat and precise. Every detail about the voyage has been meticulously recorded.
You wouldn't expect such a rough and ready sailor to have such beautiful handwriting.
Anyway, look here. Last night's log is mostly blank.
Presumably, that means there was nothing to report. So can I go... Let me just grab this. I've investigated thoroughly, but I can't find anything out of place. What do you think this is? It's a very pleasing shape, isn't it? What do you mean?
That's the emergency alarm. It's probably best not to touch it.
Oh, an alarm.
It says press only in times of emergencies. It looks as though it sets alarm bells ringing all over the ship, and it brings the vessel to a complete stop.
Oh, this I have to see.
What are you doing, Naruto-san? You mustn't touch it.
But this is an emergency situation. Just look at these handcuffs.
You know full well that's not what the alarm is for. If you were to bring this vessel to a standstill for no good reason, you'd be in an even worse situation.
Ugh, wish everything would just stop, the ship included.
If you have to do something foolish, at least make it something that doesn't affect everyone else.
Alright, can we go inside now? This is it. This is the cabin next to ours, the one the ventilator connects to.
Yes, the ventilator from which Kazuma-sama wrote that he saw a speckled band emerging.
Maybe whoever's in this cabin can help solve that particular mystery. Let's ask, which again, I'm pretty sure Homeboy's in there.
No answer. Rather luck it seems. There's no one in there to help with our inquiries.
How annoying! Ah! What was that? It came from inside the cabin!
Such a high-pitched squeal. Ah! Must have been a woman.
Stand aside! I'm about to break the door down!
Mr. Sholmes!
I shan't be stopped. When the fit is on me, I revel in kicking doors off their hinges.
Please, wait, Mr. Sholmes. The door doesn't appear to be bolted.
It doesn't? And how the deuce can I dispatch this muscular urge? What, pray, can I kick?
I think we should go in. There's no time to think about stress relief. Bro was ready though, hold on. He was about to bust the fucking door down. 9th of January, SS Buria, first class cabin number 2. Who the fuck is that? A Western gentleman? This man looks Russian to me. We heard a woman scream.
Woman, don't be absurd. As you can see, there's nobody but me in this cabin.
True, this old man does appear to be the only person in here. But in that case, who just screamed?
Get out! All of you! Now!
Please excuse the intrusion, but you're Mr. Grimesby Roylett, I presume?
Yes, that's me. And you are?
I'm the one and only, the actual Sherlock Sholmes. You've heard of me, no doubt.
No.
I'm a great detective among great detectives, one who adorns the cover of popular magazines, no less. So I assure you, you may trust me completely.
Man uses that magazine like it's a business card.
A detective? I do not trust detectives.
We distinctly heard a scream emanating from within these walls.
But oh, what the fuck did he say? What did he say? What did he say?
But there wouldn't appear to be a lady concealing herself within the wardrobe this time. So might I be so bold as to ask you to open that small travelling case?
Don't be stupid. How can anyone fit inside a small trunk like that?
Well, it's quite fashionable these days, is it not? Travelling inside one's trunk.
Don't look at me! Hey, yo, whoa!
Oh my! Did you see that, Mr. Naruto?
Yes, the case just shook.
Leave, now. Otherwise, I'll call the steward.
This is Kazuma's neighbor, Mr. Grimesby Roylet. No doubt about it, this strange Russian man is hiding something.
I couldn't agree more. Let's see if we can find some clues before that burly sailor returns.
Yeah, tell me about last night, Mr. Roylitz. We'd like to talk to you about something.
No! I do not want to talk. Leave my cabin now.
This is going terribly.
We're not getting anywhere here.
I agree, but there may be someone else who can help. What in the hell? Wait, perhaps the great detective can get somewhere, Mr. Roylett. Can you do something? Do you have a moment, please, Mr. Sholmes?
You need only address me as Sholmes.
That's what I just did, isn't it? Well, Mr. Sholmes, what were you doing in there?
Why, I was resting, of course.
Resting.
Indeed. I was contemplating our sea voyage from the confines of the wardrobe whilst waiting. Waiting for the inevitable time that you would need to call my great powers of detection into service.
Oh!
And it would seem that the hour is upon us now. The time has come. Am I mistaken?
Well, no, actually, you're spot on for once. For twice, he got the fucking case.
Observe closely. Our Russian host in this cabin, Mr. Roylett, is clearly trying to hide something. And do you know the most effective weapon to use against a Russian hiding a secret? Why, the truth, of course. Though it should be pointed out that such methods are not exclusively for the Russians.
Right.
Can you imagine how the Russian will react when the secret he guards so closely is exposed? Would you like to witness it?
Oh yes, please!
Well then, what you're about to see may well astound you. For I'm about to apply my great detective's greatly admired great deduction to the case.
Alright, man, yeah. Let it ride. Let it ride, bro.
Could this man be a more hackneyed portrayal of a dubious Russian, I ask you?
What?
From time to time it occurs to me. Is the fellow dubious on account of his Russianness, or Russian on account of his dubiousness?
I really don't think either of those things should be occurring to you or anyone.
That's right, and Mr. Sholmes. I know this man's beard and dark glasses are hard to ignore, especially on first meeting, but I once read, it is a capital mistake to theorize before you have all the evidence. It biases the judgment.
Shh! I must have complete silence.
What are you doing? Why are you peering in my face like that?
Ah, just as I thought. Yes, I've quite made up my mind now. There can be no other explanation that accommodates all the facts. Mr. Roylett, I've reached two incontrovertible conclusions.
What do you mean?
Number one, your true identity is that of a villain. Using those shears, you're about to end the existence of something most dear. Are you not?
Huh?
And number two, the other conclusion I have drawn, you are, at this very moment no less, in the midst of committing the most grievous crime. Beneath that beard, your mouth quivers with nervous tension as you realise you've been discovered. Does it not?
Oh, Kono-san. I never imagined I would witness one of Mr. Sholm's great deductions with my own eyes.
That was a great deduction.
Nothing can deceive Mr. Sholmes. In a single glance, he can deduce all there is to know about a person.
What? What ineffable twaddle!
Oh yes, I read about it countless times in the adventures of Herlock Sholmes. And now I've experienced the astonishing impact of his great deduction firsthand. This is like a dream come true.
I can hardly believe it, but all the colors drained from Mr. Roylet's face. It's like somehow both of Mr. Sholmes' conclusions were right.
How could you?
How could I possibly know such things, you wish to say? Very well then, I shall elucidate. I shall explain how it was that I arrived at this pair of conclusions. So, do I cordially invite you upon a journey of logical discovery. Let us board the train of reasoning. Put plainly, let us work through my deductions together.
The great deduction. The game is afoot. Topic 1. Old man's identity.
So the devious-looking Russian, Mr. Roylet, obviously what catches my eye in the first place is the enormous pair of shears in your hand. Now we ask ourselves, what could you possibly want with such an implement? The answer, of course, is staring us in the face. You were on the verge of using the shears to cut away the copious beard you sport. Now moving on. The question then begged is this. Why would you desire to rid yourself of this magnificent beard, Mr. Roylet? Once again, the answer is plain. We have clear evidence to shed light on the matter. Regard, if you will, this morning's newspaper, in particular the fascinating front page article, which, it would appear, you've read also, Mr. Roylet. I'm sure it needs no further clarification.
Oh, what was the case? Is he the guy that was running away from the cops? He was the KGB spy.
The evidence that reveals your true identity is the article about the revolutionary. In translation, the headline reads, Revolutionary villain Bolshevik flees Russia via Shanghai. As you cannot fail to observe, the subject of the article possesses an extremely copious beard. Having noted the article yourself, you decided to remove your incriminating facial hair before it gave you away. In short, your true identity is beyond doubt. You are the fearsome Russian revolutionary himself, villain Bolshevik. Not that I've heard of you myself, you understand.
Revolutionary on the run. Topic 2. Wrongdoing.
Now, as for my second conclusion, you are at this very moment on the brink of committing a most grievous crime. And the proof of this crime, over there. Oh yes, Mr. Roylet, taken unawares, people have the propensity to let their eyes stray, you see. And I assure you, the eyes speak so much more eloquently and honestly than the mouth. The answer, you seek lies where the furtive glance falls. The proof of your crime sits before our very eyes. Here's that travelling case. It is time, I think, that the case be opened and its contents laid bare.
No, I refuse.
What could you possibly be concealing inside, we ask? By my estimation, a young lady perhaps? One that can fit in there?
Don't be absurd.
And what, pray, would the identity of this young lady in the travelling case be? Dear me, we're not well suited for a life of crime, are we? Your careless coudoir, but Wazy. Once again, we need only follow our furtive glance to find the answer. Yes, the reason you refuse to open your travelling case can be equally found in the pages of this newspaper. But there is another most stimulating article. If we turn from the fleeing revolutionary to the back page, renowned prima ballerina of the Novovich Ballet disappeared from Shanghai. Such a headline can lead us to but one conclusion. Your crime this act of abduction. And according to the article, the young lady's name is Nikolina Pavlova.
That's a crazy allegation, bro. Can I pause? I kind of want to end this.
And that concludes my deduction.
Alright, I'm into here. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.